Welcome back to Ben Salutes. I'm Benthelooney, and I think I need to be banned from handling money. See? What did I tell you, bronies? I said that ponies was going to keep getting better, and I was right. However, if you don't feel as though I am right, get out of here! This is a happy place! Anyway, I've witnessed the pinnacle of the universe. This has got to be one of the best seasons ever for any TV show. So, per tradition, I'm going to count down my top 12 favorite episodes from Season 4 of Ponies. Wait, 12? 12? That's not enough! I want to talk about so much more! What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? This is the end! This is too much pressure for me to... Oh wait, I have an idea. I'll just salute every episode of the whole freaking season! Yeah, you're gonna be sitting in that spot for a while, so you might want to grab a snack. I'll wait. And I'm bored. Let's start the list already. Oh, what are you gonna do? Pause the video? Come on, I dare you. I dare... Hey, stupids! What are you trying to do? Suffocate me? Anyway, get ready for an overload of diabetes. Here is my salute of Season 4 of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. Let's start off with the epic season premiere, Princess Twilight Sparkle. So, it's just a normal, happy time in Ponyville. Twilight's trying to learn how to fly, while also preparing for the summer sun celebration with her friends. Everything is so calm and happy. Truck that spit! This is a season premiere! There's no room for that slice of life crap in this two-parter. Let's see some princess disappearing. Let's see some evil plants coming to life and causing some trouble. Let's see some giant monster of some kind. And finally, oh hi Discord. Finally, let's see Discord! I was gonna say some laser shooting unibunnies, but I'll just barely settle for this. Aw, heck yeah! Now this is how you start a season off. What I love that the premiere is... What's not to love about it? It gave me everything I was wanting to see, as well I wasn't expecting to see. We got some great humor out of Pinkie and Discord, Twilight being thrown into the princess position for the very first time, and we got a nice little cameo from Sakura that allowed for a great addition to the plot. Twilight goes back in time, and we get to see Nightmare Moon's origin, which leads to Princess Celestia doing some long-awaited hiney kicking, and bronies thought she was only good for being a troll. And molestation. For some reason? Bronies can be weird sometimes. I also have to mention the ending. I didn't see it coming at all, and it was too funny to handle. It's kind of refreshing to actually see a comedic ending to an epic story. You don't see that often. Also, the elements of harmony had to be put to rest into the Tree of Harmony, which spat out a chest that would have had to be opened by the end of the season. Aww, good riddance! It was starting to get old seeing those things always saving the day. If they kept going with those, I can only imagine how the episodes would have played out. Oh no, a villain! What are we gonna do? I don't know! Call Lena Inverse to save the day! No, you're gonna use the freaking elements of harmony! You always do! I can't stand it! Ah! That only would have been the fourth time that something I loved caused me to jump out of a window. However, all the elements in this episode don't even compare to the epicness that is Twilight Scepter. Oh, it's so... Why am I supposed to like this again? I just saw it all over Cheeseburger Network, so I guess it's supposed to have some kind of value to it. Whatever. Anyway, Princess Twilight Sparkle got the season kicked off with a bang, and I couldn't wait to see what the next 24 episodes were going to throw at me. Ah, yes. Words couldn't describe how much I loved this episode when it aired. So, Twilight and Spike head to Celestia and Luna's old castle to do research on the Tree of Harmony. Meanwhile, Applejack and Rainbow Dash are daring each other to go look in the same castle. Meanwhile, Fluttershy and Rarity are going to the same castle to find tapestries that Rarity wants to restore. Meanwhile, Pinkie Pie is... Well, I don't want to give anything away, now do I? Being a fan of the anarchic comedy of the Marx Brothers, I'm a sucker for plots of shows that deal with several different characters getting caught in the same situation while being completely unaware of the fact that the other characters are there as well. Not to mention, I just love haunted house plot lines. Living in Central Illinois, I've adapted to freaky things constantly happening. Anyway, this episode's non-stop laughs from start to finish, and I love it. I wish I could talk more about it, but most of the fun is not knowing what's coming next. However, I will say that, yes, the ending is kind of predictable. But you don't see me complaining. Anyway, Castlevania is a classic episode of this show, and easily one of the show's funniest. It proved that the show was going to do just fine even with the slice of life plot lines. Next was Daring Don'ts. With that title, I'm sure you can guess which character returns in this episode. That's right, Gilda! That witch. No, it's Daring Do, of course. So, Rainbow Dash is anxiously waiting for the next Daring Do book, but it's been announced that it's being delayed. I've been there, Dashy. Anyway, Rainbow lets her anxiousness get the best of her, and she goes all the way to A.K. Yearling's house in order to help her finish the book. However, the reason the book is being delayed is not because A.K. is suffering from writer's block, but because the story hasn't been completed yet. Why? Because A.K. Yearling is Daring Do! Dun dun dun! But honestly, is that really surprising? I mean, I believe that J.K. Rowling is actually Harry Potter. I've been attacked by plenty of trolls in my lifetime. Anyway, this is yet another episode I enjoyed, mainly because I've become a fan of Daring Do myself, and I would love to see her make more appearances. Also, Rainbow Dash acting all fangirlish is really adorable. In fact, I actually think Rainbow Dash is the cutest pony in this show. Yeah, I said it. What are you gonna do? Pause the video again? No, don't! Seriously, I have lungs too! Anyway, not much more to say about this one. It was just another great adventure episode from this show. Another Scootaloo episode? Score! So, Mrs. Harshwindy comes to town and announces that Ponyville will need a team of flag carriers in order to carry the flag out at the Equestria Games. And of course, our favorite Crusaders want to be the ones. But Scootaloo's disability to fly is made as a target of harassment by none other than Tiara. So, the Cutie Mark Crusaders still try to carry on despite Scootaloo's depression. What I love about this episode is that it teaches those annoying soccer moms that those with disabilities can coexist with able-bodied people. I honestly can't believe that a little girl show has to teach them that. Not to mention that we got another catchy song from the Crusaders. It's like if the Chimpettes didn't cause my ears to bleed. So, like to the finish is yet another episode that I enjoyed. Sorry if I'm not sounding as enthusiastic about this episode as I should, but Mrs. Harshwindy is staring right at me. Look, I'm being professional. Don't look at me that way! Ah, yes. This episode. So, while Spike is feeling a little left out, he and the ponies get sucked into a comic book where they are given superpowers and have to fight against the maniac. So, what do I think about this one? It's freaking awesome! Come on, folks. It's the ponies getting sucked into a comic book world. You can't even begin to picture the epicness that comes out of that. I can't even begin to describe it either. Well, I love the art direction of this episode. I can actually tell that this episode takes place in a comic book world. See? They know how to do it! Also, I love the maniac. It's actually interesting to see the ponies fight against an Earth pony for once, and boy is she a fun character. And finally, after all the comedy relief that Spike has been used for in the past, it's nice once again to see him actually do something productive. Overall, this episode has a nice blend of action and comedy that I had nothing but the utmost fun watching. Go, go, Power Rangers! I mean, Power Ponies! In this one, Applejack's farm is infested with fruit bats, who look differently from their first appearance. Must be a different subspecies. Anyway, Fluttershy tries her best to make the ponies get rid of the bats in a humane way, but the result is something that I'm sure nobody saw coming. One of my favorite aspects of this show is just when I have a feeling an episode is going to go one way, it not only goes another, but the other way goes even better than the way I could have imagined. Man, I wish I could talk more about this one, but once again, I don't want to ruin it for people who haven't seen it. Oh, truck it. The season's over. It's fair game, folks. Fluttershy turns into a bat. Yes, a freaking bat. It is so freaking adorable and amazing. I just want to cuddle it all day and all night. Also, it's worth knowing that this is the first Meriwether Williams episode that fans on the show have an overall positive opinion on. See? I told you to give her time. Actually, I didn't, but she proved herself. That woman didn't write some hilarious episodes of The Angry Beavers for nothing. So, Bets is another unique episode of this show that, once again, I went nutsy cuckoo over. In this one, the ponies take a trip to Manhattan, where Rarity is in a fashion competition. However, her generosity towards one of the compares comes back to bite her in the flank. What's great about this episode is that it's great to actually see Rarity acting generous. We haven't seen that since, what, season 1? Really? Element of generosity, huh? I also love the self-referential humor that this episode had. I'm a sucker for that kind of humor. And, once again, Rainbow Dash shows how adorable she is when she gets enthusiastic about singing a musical. Aw, she's so cute. However, no amount of cuteness that this show has exploited could prepare anyone for what appears in this episode. Oh, da 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 da. Eat your heart out, Fluttershy. Don't use that tone of hiss with me, young pony. So, as if it's any kind of surprise, this is yet another episode that I really enjoyed, and it was great to see a change of scenery in form of Manhattan. Ah, yes. I was looking forward to this one since the day it was announced, and it didn't disappoint. So, Pinkie gets a suspicion that she's related to the Apple family, so she tags along on a road trip with Applejack, Apple Bloom, Granny Smith, and Big Macintosh as they try to find out the Apple family history. If the apples don't kill each other before they get there first. One of my favorite parts of this season is that it took the time to make characters interact that we don't usually see screen time together. Pinkie blended well with the apples, as her comedy was great contrast to the down-the-earth nature of them. Also, this is a Pinkie Pie episode, so you know how excited that makes me. Next, we got a catchy song in the form of Apples to the Core. Try to only listen to that song once. I dare you. No! Wait till the video's over! No! Oh, sure. I'm a cartoon character. That means I can survive death. Well, it still hurts like a son of a ditch! Finally, I love the overall message of this episode, which is you don't have to be blood related to someone in order to be family. Forming such strong relationships with people outside my family, that is a message that I'm not only familiar with, but I support. Pinkie's line, Applejack, when you're family, you make time, is both funny and heartwarming at the same time, and shows just how important family really is. The next episode, oh my freeling, it's Derpy! Derpy made another appearance! Oh, it's a miracle! In your faces, you witchy soccer moms! Never underestimate the power of a fan base. Yes, Derpy, we love you! Oh, don't ever leave us again! I'm so happy! We now move on to the next episode, and... oh, come on, folks, Derpy came back. What's more to talk about at Rainbow Falls? Well, alright. I feel that the episode really isn't as bad as most people have made it out to be. I found it to be really fun, and Bulk Biceps is quickly becoming a favorite secondary pony of mine. Not to mention that the Warren Bolts are getting jerkier with each appearance. I don't know what that's about, but maybe we'll find out eventually. So yeah, I like Rainbow Falls. Oh, go ahead, leave hate comments. I'm practically immune to them by now. Your tears only make me stronger. So, in the next episode, oh my McKibson, it's Discord! Discord came back in! Alright, I'm not gonna do that again. So, Discord has a sickness and visits Ponyville, wanting some attention. Of course, all the other ponies are busy, so he ends up butting in on Twilight's time with Cadence, and they are forced into taking care of him. It's a Discord episode. You can't even begin to predict all the great comedy you're going to get out of it. Firstly, it's nice to actually see Twilight and Cadence spending time together when the world isn't about to end. That line from the Quistral Empire was actually some great foreshadowing. Next, we have Discord. Fans were worried about him turning good, almost as bad as they were worried about Twilight growing wings. Well, in both cases, they're still the same character. So ha. Plus, if Discord didn't reform, we probably never would have gotten this hilarious Glass of Water song that he sings. That song is fast-paced and full of wacky imagery, and I eat it all up. I'm a frickin' nutjob, so I love anything that's completely off the wall. But, now it's time to address what was one of the big controversies about Season 4, Pinkie's character. Well, with Pinkie Pie being my favorite character in the show, I'm sure you're all wondering what I think about it. So, to anyone who is whining and complaining about Pinkie not being herself, shut the truck up! She's freaking Pinkie Pie, for Pete's sake! One of the main reasons I love her is how unpredictable she is. Yes, her being distracted by a balloon may seem weird for her, but this is Pinkie Pie we're talking about. The same pony who stalked a donkey in an attempt for him to become friends with her. The same Pinkie Pie who had a party with a bunch of objects because she felt her friends didn't care for her anymore. And the same Pinkie Pie who constantly shows that she knows that an audience is watching her. Pinkie is just one of those characters who you never know what she's gonna be like. However, when I think about her, I look for two things. One, her being a hilarious and cartoony comedian, and two, caring about her friends. As long as those two things are still intact, she's still the same Pinkie that made me want to keep watching this show in the first place. But here's a true story that I just made up if some of you still aren't convinced. Remember the Pinkie clones? Well, one of them found a spot to hide in when the other clones were sent back to the puddle. So, the clone found the real Pinkie, knocked her out, and assumed her role for this episode. After this episode, they found out she wasn't the real Pinkie and sent the clone back to the puddle. It's amazing what kind of information you'll find on message boards. So, with that, this is an episode that had me laughing like a madman. Probably because I am one. Alright, another Pinkie episode. Lay it on me! While Pinkie is playing Rainbow's birthday, a mysterious party planner named Cheese Sandwich walks into Ponyville and offers to plan a party for her. This causes Pinkie to be left in the dust, which inspires her to out-party Cheese. Pinkiness ensues. Boy, where do I even start? Well, it's nice once again to see a Pinkie episode which shows her personal side. We haven't seen that since Baby Cakes. Also, it's a musical episode, which is always a special treat from this show. Daniel Ingram does a great job of churning out more catchy songs. How does he do it? And, since it's a Pinkie episode, it's full of the trademark Pinkie hilarity that I love so much about her. Anything else I should mention? Oh, of course, the certain elephant in the room. Hey Pipsqueak, get your ginormous hiney out of here! Go buy your own peanuts, you fat freeloader! Well, that has been dealt with. It's time for me to praise the fact that this episode has Weird Al Trucking Yankovic! Yes, yes, a billion times yes! You know that me being the huge Al fan that I am, I got so excited when he was confirmed as a guest star. His comedic style blends well with the show, and he even had time to do what he does best. Sing. That's something that poor David Bowie can't take credit for after that torturous guest spot on SpongeBob. Anyway, even though Al guest starred in this episode, it didn't become all about him. Instead, it stood out as a great episode by itself, which other shows in that position usually fail at. Also, since Al himself is a live-action cartoon character, he does an amazing job voicing Cheese Sandwich. Even though I'm an alcoholic, I'm able to tell the difference between him and Cheese. That requires lots of talent. So, bottom line, Pinkie Pride has become my favorite episode of the whole show, knocking Feeling Pinkie Keen off of its throne. It not only proved why I love Pinkie, Weird Al, and this show, but it proved why I love animation as a whole. After that burst of epic insanity that was Pinkie Pride, it was a nice breather to see this show cool down and take on a slice of life plot. So, a famous pony that Rarity really likes is coming to visit Ponyville, but when he sets his sights on Applejack, Rarity feels that it's time for her to change her style of acting. I was wondering how this show would handle a romantic plotline, and it didn't disappoint me at all. It's another one of those episodes that fits into the Character 180 plotline that I love so much. It's really humorous seeing Rarity, a pony who I'm used to seeing acting completely uptight, being a country pony. I also see Rarity's character as a satire of a usual girly girl archetype that we see in a lot of media these days, so she has lots of those kind of moments in this episode. Not much else to say. This was yet another episode that I really enjoyed. We now move on to beep 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 beep. Whoop! Time's up. Huh? I guess me talking about 13 episodes is all you're going to get. Or I could just make a two-parter, but that would just be silly for a YouTube video. Well, I'm Benthelooney, and I'm going to make me a lot of cheese sandwiches.